Well, life's great, to be honest with you. It's been a massive challenge because I've never moved out of Manchester, so to move away from the family, from my roots, somewhere where I'd lived all my life, that was probably the biggest challenge. And I came out here, we uprooted everything. We moved our lives out to Spain, my children are in school, and we're loving it. You wake up every day, the sun is shining, the sky is blue, and the culture is fantastic. You know, we've embraced the lifestyle. At the moment, I can't see myself coming home for a long time.
The transition to coaching seems to be suiting Phil Neville. The former Manchester United, Everton and England defender had a season as first-team coach at Manchester United and a spell working as a media pundit. He's now the interim coach at Valencia, following the departure of Nuno Espirito Santo. It's all meant a new way of life and a new language.
We're learning Spanish every day. Sometimes I'm at the training ground, or I'm putting a session on in Spanish, or I'm speaking to a player in a meeting in Spanish, and I pinch myself thinking, this is an unbelievable experience, and this is something that will not just stand me in good stead in football, but in life. It was one of those moments in your life where you think, well, it's now or never. I've always wanted to live abroad, I've always wanted to learn another language, I've always wanted to coach abroad. This was my moment, and I had to go for it.
It's been a tough challenge, but Neville has the support of his family and former Everton teammate Shkodran Mustafi.
Mustafi is one of the 2 or 3 people in the team that actually speak English. So, you know, a lot of the conversations with the players come through Mustafi. So it's nice to have somebody in the team that you can just say, you know, as a defender, you know, in this situation, what's the word you use for this? When you're out on the training field, there are many other words that the players use that I've not learned yet, which I am learning.
I remember from before that whenever Phil Neville was in the room, it would never be quiet. There would always be someone who was talking, and that's a good thing. He's slowly learning Spanish, and he's doing well. So I look forward to him being fluent and chatting away 24 hours a day.
Working abroad has always been an ambition for Neville, and now that he's at Valencia, he's impressed with what he sees.
The attitude of the players, I've got to say, it has been unbelievable. No egos. You tell them to train, you tell them to do exercises, they do it. They don't argue, they don't ask why, they just do it, and they work so hard. But there just seems to be a real calmness around that, actually, it's actually what happens between those white lines, you know, the pitch. The pitch, the ball, can you pass it to each other, can you score goals, can you defend? It's simple.
Neville's arrival at Valencia was down to a chance meeting with the now-departed Santo, just one of many managerial mentors.
I've played with some brilliant managers. The best is Sir Alex Ferguson, without a shadow of a doubt. He taught me everything. He was my second father. He taught me the meaning of professionalism, about hard work. I've learned from all my managers. But ultimately, when I become a manager or when I'm a coach now, you've got to be yourself. If you stand up there and try to be Sir Alex Ferguson, David Moyes, Glenn Hoddle, people will see right through you. So what I am, I try to be myself, which is enthusiastic, I've got good energy, and I try to be the best every day.
Football has been in Neville's blood since the day he was born. His older brother Gary was a former teammate for both Manchester United and England.
We were never competitive between ourselves. All we ever aspired to be was to play football for Man United. That was our goal. And I suppose we did drive each other on, because if he did something, I wanted to do the same. If I did something, we always tried to lift the bar every single day of how we lived our lives. And we were helped along the way by the environment that was given, 1 by our parents and 2 by Manchester United.
Manchester United, Everton, England, and now Valencia. It's been a career that any footballer would be proud of. Spain is the latest chapter, and he's relishing the challenge ahead.
I've seen most things. You know, I've played for the biggest club in the world. When people say about Valencia, I say, well, it's a club that's not just slowly on the up, it's going up very fast, because there's such a good feeling around the place. Thank you. Top man.